Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Hill, Texas, the campus of Liberty Hill High School. Panther baseball hosts the Georgetown Eagles. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Kelly DeVoll, back from Lansing, Michigan. Quite an interesting flight, I hear, that came in early in the morning.
Yeah.
But you're here with us today, and Kelly, beautiful day for high school baseball here in Liberty Hill, Texas.
It is fantastic. I didn't get back in town till 2:45 a.m. this morning, but I got just enough sleep to be okay, so I shouldn't send anything out that's inappropriate over the broadcast. But I'm excited, man. It's a beautiful night here in Liberty Hill. Wish all of you could be here with us, but we appreciate you checking in on Facebook, YouTube. I did that last time, didn't I?
Yes.
Appreciate you checking in on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
On the road here to take on the Liberty Hill Panthers. Beautiful all-turf field here in Liberty Hill, but a short porch. Kelly, we were talking about it before the game, something you don't see a lot of down in Georgetown, in any of the parks we've really been at. 303 down the left field line, 301 down the right field line, and this wind is blowing right to left. Hitters get it up in that jet stream tonight. It's a short porch. You can see a lot of fireworks.
You can, and like you were saying with the way the wind's blowing, and it's blowing pretty stout. I'd say it's 10, 15 miles an hour, and it's blowing out that left field fence. So some of these hitters on both teams may be able to get a ball up. They're not even going to have to get it that high up in the air because there's nothing around here that's really blocking the wind, kind of sitting up on a little bit of hill, and the only trees in the area are behind the fence that you can see on the camera in the outfield. So there may be some – if a pitcher leaves one hanging up too high, it may be a souvenir.
You're coming to this ball game, Kelly, after a 12-inning battle royale against the Rouse Raiders on Tuesday night back home at Georgetown. And what a battle it was. I know you were watching it there in Michigan as we texted back and forth and have talked since. You take the number one team in the state. You officially now it's been ruled the first batter of the game, an infield single. Then you go 12 innings of no-hit ball against the number one team in the state, beat them on a walk-off by Zachary Mazik in the bottom of the 12th inning. How exciting for this program. What a game for these kids, the resiliency to stick it out, to fight through adversity. Some calls that went could have gone either way. I think it's a fair way to say it. It could have been fair down the line. It could have been foul. It could have been safe at third. It could have been out. But I talked to Coach last night at the coach's show and had a great night last night at Pokey Joe's Barbecue. Thanks to Pokey Joe's in Georgetown for hosting.
Great job on that show, by the
you.
way.
I enjoyed it. Thank you.
I could tell you're having a good time.
And Coach Vieira, it was our first show this year, and so we're going to be back there again on Thursday night. But fun about it was talking about how he said now that win's over, and it was over the next morning.
Right.
At time to turn the page. This is a good Liberty Hill baseball team.
Two things that you have to worry about. At the high school level, you don't get many no-hitters when you have two quality teams playing. You get the no-hitters whenever you have one of the top teams in the district versus the bottom team in the district, or you're playing a team that's just not up to your level. But when you have the number one ranked team in the state against the 11, 12 ranked team, whichever poll you're looking at, you don't go into that game thinking somebody could get close, even close to a no-hitter. And, with Georgetown, it's the guy keeping the scorebook that's going to make that decision. Could have gone either way, and that's irrelevant. But you go 12 innings of one-hit baseball against the number one team in the state. Now you got to worry about, hey, we can't be beat. So we're coming in tonight against a quality Liberty Hill team. They have 3 district losses, 4 district losses, 3 district losses, I think.
Yeah.
Quality team, though. They got some quality players. They're familiar with our pitchers. We're familiar with their hitters. So you can't get overconfident, or you can walk into any baseball park in this district and lose.
We were talking to one of the dads of Liberty Hill, Mr. Neuenschwander, and we appreciated him, pointing out how to pronounce his son's name as he is a bats cleanup for this Liberty Hill team.
14 letters.
We were talking to him, and he was mentioning about how it's a team that shouldn't be 2 and 3 in district.
Right.
They didn't play well against Cedar Park. Cedar Park's a good baseball team. They caught Cedar Park after 2 losses, and Cedar Park came in not happy. He said, their top 3 pitchers pitch, and just couldn't find it that night. And so, but he agreed, and we discussed this has to be, if not the toughest district in 5A baseball in the state, one of the toughest.
It absolutely is, and you see it because Leander beats us, and then they go play Eastview and get beat by Eastview. And then we beat Eastview very soundly. And so you never know night to night, whatever happens. If your team's not on, you could walk in here and get beat. So Georgetown's got to come in here. They got to play their game. Pitchers just have to throw and let their defense work behind them and take care of your business. On paper, you look at it, you should come out of here with a win tonight, but you got to play the game.
Georgetown comes into the ball game 15-2 overall. Their last ranking by Texas high school baseball was 11th. Rouse was number 1. After that upset on, you call it an upset, you can call it a great baseball game, you can call it whatever you want. That was the best baseball game I've ever witnessed, top to bottom for a 12-inning game. It wasn't 8-8, it wasn't 10-10, it wasn't 4-4.
Right.
It was 0-0,
yeah.
And there were opportunities both ways. But the defense made plays. The double play by Reese Bell, we talked about that earlier. Snagging that smash down the line,
yep.
Stepping on the bag, a perfect throw to second base to get the runner advancing to second. The pickoff from the knees from Zachary Mazik, throwing out the runner, picking up his shortstop. Elman had just made an error to allow Kaspar on base. No questions asked. Next pitch, Kaspar takes off. Mazik picks him off. And so just play after play, this defense responded. The ball down third base. Everyone thought it was a walk-off winner. You listened to Rouse's broadcast. Michael Francis, our buddy for Rouse Baseball, was broadcasting, and they thought it was over. And then they were surprised. They called it foul.
Right.
And so things went, but the team didn't stop there. And Coach Vieira hit on that last night in the coaches show about where are your feet now? Be where you are now. Let's go. The next 200. What's 200 feet in front of you? And to continue to push forward that. And they did that several times in that game.
You know what was so encouraging to me last night when I was watching on the coaches show? Whenever you talk to Mazik, depending on whether you're saying his first or last name, when you talk to him, the kid is just level-headed, and he gets it. He gets it. Big win, but we got Liberty Hill now. And it's so much fun getting to talk to these kids, getting to know these kids and their parents. And we've got a good crowd here tonight for Georgetown. A bunch of folks have made the 15-minute trip from Georgetown to come over here and watch a baseball game tonight. And just a beautiful night. I'm excited. Glad to be here.
Coach Steve Hutcherson of Liberty Hill and Coach Jordan Vieira, along with assistant coach and cheerleader and Mr. All Things Georgetown Baseball, Jared Fremmel, approach home plate for the coaches meeting with the umpires. The Georgetown Eagles come in as the visitors. They're wearing the white pants with the Georgetown blue pinstripes, but the All-American jerseys. I love it, and I'm glad they wear them.
I love it, except the numbers are just so hard to see.
The camouflage jerseys tonight with the patriotic American flag numerals and lettering with the camouflage hats and the camouflage or the United States flag G logo on the front. Liberty Hill comes into the ball game wearing the home cream-colored pinstripe uniforms, kind of a light yellowish, dark cream. I don't know. French vanilla powdered color. I don't know what you call it. Not a white uniform, but it's kind of the cream uniform with purple lettering, purple numerals.
The coffee creamer.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how you explain it. It's not the white uniforms. It's not a traditional white home uniform. It's like a cream-colored for Liberty Hill, which is a purple and gold school. But the home team in the third base dugout tonight, the Georgetown Eagles on the first base dugouts. Let's do the visiting lineup real quick the home lineup for the Liberty Hill Panthers. Head coach Steve Hutcherson, assistant coach Kyle Busher. The Liberty Hill Panthers, what I had off the website said 15-4 and 3-2. Talking to Mr. Neuenschwander, it's 15-4 maybe, but 2-3 in district play. And so that has dropped Liberty Hill out of the top 25 rankings as of last week. For the week being because of the 3 losses in district. They'll lead things off and bat this way here in the ballgame tonight. Batting first, number 12, and DHing is Logan Dyer. Batting second and catching, number 28, Carson Riley. Batting third and playing first base, number 24, Cash Durkin. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 10, Cade Neuenschwander. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 11, Trent Eller. Batting sixth, playing right field, number 8, Colby DeMars. Batting seventh and playing center field, number 7, Jack Stavanoa. Batting eighth, playing shortstop, number 2, Garrett Neely. And batting ninth and playing left field is number 3, Chase Maxwell. On the mound tonight for the Liberty Hill Panthers, starting it out, is number 17, Cole Jefferson. So for the Liberty Hill Panthers, the top third, Dyer, Riley, and Durkin. The middle third, Neuenschwander, Eller, and DeMars. And the bottom three, Stavanoa, Neely, and Maxwell. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back, give you the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles, and be ready for the national anthem and the first pitch. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle Baseball here on SHN Sports. Georgetown Eagle Band bringing us back here live, Liberty Hill High School at Panthers Stadium, the Diamond at the Panthers home, whatever they call it. They don't say it, but we're going to call it Panther Field. We're here live at Liberty Hill High School. SHN Sports coverage of Georgetown Eagle baseball. Kelly, all things go. This team has to respond. They can't have that mentality, and Coach, they talked about that last night. They've got to have that mentality that, hey, that game's over, time to go on to the next one. Every team in this district can beat you at any point.
Part of what Coach Vieira talks about all the time when you're talking to him about this baseball team is the maturity level. And that makes such a difference in this circumstance. It makes a difference in your preparation for the game. It makes a difference for in the game whenever the emotions are running high. And the veteran group of players that we have for Georgetown this year is showing on the field.
Starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles, 15-2 overall, 4-1 in district play. Tied at first with Cedar Park and Rouse. They have the tiebreaker head-to-head right now with Rouse. We'll play Cedar Park next Friday night at home, or next Friday night at, no, it is at home on the 8th against Cedar Park. That will be our last game of the first rotation of district play. Head coach Jordan Vieira, the alumnus of Georgetown, 7th year on the coaching staff back here at Georgetown, and in year 3 as the head coach of your Georgetown Eagles. His assistant coach tonight here at the varsity game is Chad Payne in his second season with the Georgetown Eagles. Leading things off and playing shortstop, number 21, senior Eli Hellman. Batting second, and I screwed that up already. It is a junior, Eli Hellman. Batting second and catching, a senior, number 19, Zachary Mazik. Batting third and playing second base, a senior, number 2, E.J. Davis. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 25, a senior, Reese Bell. Batting sixth and designated hitting tonight is a senior, number 6, Landon Heil. Batting sixth and playing left field, a senior, number 3, Ty Klaus-Keismore. Quick timeout. The national anthem. We'll be back here in just a moment on SHN. And where we left off, sorry about that. We couldn't hear the PA guy start out the national anthem. That was pretty quick. Batting sixth, playing left field, the senior number 3, Ty Klaus-Keismore. Batting seventh and playing third base, a senior number 5, Logan Smith. Batting eighth and playing right field tonight, a senior number 4, Wade Denton. And batting ninth and playing center field is a senior number 16, Andon Petty. On the mound tonight, starting things out for your Georgetown Eagles, is senior left-handed pitcher number 10, Jacob Haddon. So the top third, Hellman, Mozick, and Davis. The middle third, Bell, Heil, and Klaus-Keismore. The bottom third, Smith, Denton, and Petty for your Georgetown Eagles.
Reese Bell is just a gigantic human being.
That he is.
He's a big kid. Big kid.
Eli Hellman, Zachary Mozick, and E.J. Davis set to lead things off here in the top of the first inning. On the road here at Liberty Hill High School, Cole Jefferson, the starting pitcher for the Liberty Hill Panthers, going through his warm-ups here. Defensively for the Panthers, Maxwell in left, Stavanoa in center, DeMars in right. Newen Schwander at third base, Neely at shortstop, Eller at second, and Durkin at first base. Riley behind the plate, and Cole Jefferson, the starting pitcher. Leading things off is Zachary Mozick, or Eli Hellman. Man, I'm going to get it all right here in a minute. Something went wrong, and I am having problems with my laptop all of a sudden. So we'll get to the stats here in a minute. That was weird. It shut down and took our pen away. Eli Hellman steps in from the right side. First pitch from Jefferson, just high, ball one. And we start off with the first pitch of the ball game. We talked about it at Round Rock. The pitcher's starting out for Georgetown with that first pitch strike. And now Hellman gets the ball to start things off. Second pitch, he's swinging, fouls it off back behind the backstop for strike one, and the count evens out at 1-1.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight with the pitching staffs for both teams to see how quickly they can get control.
The 1-1 pitch, outside corner, strike two called there to Eli Hellman. He'll step in, ready to go with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jefferson's pitch, the breaking pitch in the turf, swing and a miss. Riley comes up with it, fires down to first base, and the put out for strikeout for the first out of the ball game. 2-3 on the put out, and that'll bring up the catcher Zachary Mozick. He'll step in from the left side for the first time here in the ball game. Mozick with the game-winning RBI, the only RBI in the ball game the other night in the 1-0 ball game. First pitch swinging, and it's a drive into to right center field. Nice base hit past the second baseman for Eli Hellman. So first pitch swinging, and the first hit of the ball game for the Eagles. And Mozick on first base. Courtesy runner comes out. I believe it's going to be Jacob Faltasek for the Eagles. Oh, the courtesy runner for the catcher, Mozick. Mozick will go back to the dugout. Jacob Faltasek at first. And now steps in E.J. Davis, the second baseman. He'll step in from the right side. Davis steps in with a .442 batting average coming into tonight's ball game. First pitch is low in the turf for ball one. 1-0 the count to E.J. Davis.
Coach Vieira likes to test these catchers sometimes early in the game. Carson Riley, the catcher for the Liberty Hill Panthers, not that big, but he's got a cannon arm.
1-0 pitch. Davis holds off and takes it for strike one. 1-1 the count.
I had one job, and I failed.
We'll update the scoreboard here in a minute. Got a runner at first. One out. A 1-1 count to E.J. Davis.
That's all right. I'm watching baseball, man.
Jefferson set from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Davis sends it foul down the right field line, out of play. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to the second baseman. Coming into the ball game for Mozick's first at bat, he had a .543 batting average. 3 for 4 the other night, hit by 2 pitches, a walk, and 1 out produced in a flyout in his first at bat at 7:05 p.m. His game-winning hit about 10:35 p.m. The 1-2 pitch, base hit into right field. Nice job by Davis. He'll swing the Faltasek all the way around second and third base. And 2 back-to-back singles have the Eagles in business here in the top of the first. What a job there by E.J. Davis, Kelly. The 1-2 pitch, he goes with it, drives it to right field, and now runners on the corners.
Quality piece of hitting. He got a good pitch to hit, and he was able to push it out to the right field. And that's what you like to see in this circumstance, because how the defense is set, no chance. So great piece of hitting.
Reese Bell steps in, the first baseman, for his first at-bat of the night. 417 on the year for Reese, 25 RBIs, and a perfect chance here with 1 out in the top of the first and a runner at first and third. First pitch outside. Nice play there by the catcher, Riley. Ball 1 to Bell.
That may give us an indication of what they're going to try to do with Bell out there. Stay away from that plate.
But one thing is, we got here early, the team going through hitting practice, they were working on things to right field. And so you like to see that early on. EJ does it. Boom, takes that 1-2 pitch into right field for the base hit. This pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 now, the count to Reese Bell.
Yeah, that one's called strike, but you still see the game plan against somebody like Bell with some power, likes that plate, likes that high fastball, but they're staying away from him on the outside part of the plate.
The 1-1 pitch, Bell holds off and takes this one outside corner, strike 2. All 3 pitches on Bell, Kelly, have been on the outside part of the plate. Exactly right. They're staying away, keeping it from the power wheel there of Bell to get it down the left field line. Potentially getting it out of here into that wood line. The 1-2 pitch, a curveball, ground ball up the middle. Shortstop flips over to second base, on to first base, a 6-4-3 double play. And Liberty Hill gets out of trouble with the 1 swing of the bat. So after 1 inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. 0 your score for the Eagles. Liberty Hill coming up. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN in just a moment. We go to the bottom of the first. Jacob Haddon finishing up his warm-up pitches here in the bottom half of the first inning. Defensive lead for the Georgetown Eagles. Klaus Keismore in left field. Petty in center. Wade Denton in right field tonight. Logan Smith at third. Eli Hellman at shortstop. E.J. Davis at second. Reese Bell at first. And Zachary Mazik behind the plate. Jacob Haddon, the lefty, on the mound to start things out for your Eagles. Leading things off here in the top of the first will be Logan Dyer. Dyer, Riley, and Durkin Duop here in the top half, or bottom half of the first inning for the Liberty Hill Panthers. Logan Dyer, the left-handed hitter, steps in. He's the designated hitter for the Panthers. The first pitch from Haddon on the way, and it's swinging. Ball popped up into left field. Klaus Keismore calls off, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. F7 in the book for out number 1, and that'll bring up the catcher, Carson Riley.
That's what you want to see. 1 pitch, 1 out. And somebody not paying attention to doing their job over here on this scoreboard. So
we'll be taking applications after tonight.
Yeah.
First pitch to the catcher, Carson Riley. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. And one thing we talked about, Newen Schwander's father, before the game, we were talking to him, and he said, it looks like you probably guys are going to throw a lefty. Carson Riley, swing and a miss for strike 2. Against us, we seem to be struggling against them. Yeah. And sure enough, Coach Pierre clearly on top of that, as Haddon on the mound, the lefty for Georgetown. The 0-2 pitch, up high and out for ball 1. 1-2 now the count to Carson Riley.
Good control of these pitches early in the count. Your 0-2 count, you're not going to give him anything to hit and see if you can offer something that he may swing at.
1-2, skips in there in the turf for ball 2. 2-2 now the count to Riley. One out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Haddon from the windup, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Carson Riley down on strikes. First strikeout of the night for Jacob Haddon. And that'll bring up the first baseman, number 24, Cash Durkin.
Nasty pitch, pulled a string on it, fooled the hitter, and got that second out, and that's a big second out. Folks, you notice usually when we're on the road we've got a static camera, but we actually have a cameraman tonight. My son, Jesse DeVoll, working that camera. Thanks for coming, Jay.
First pitch from Haddon. Breaking pitch, catches the outside corner for the lefty, Durkin. 4 strike 1, 0-1 the count. To the left-handed hitting first baseman. The 0-1 pitch laced into right field. It'll be a base hit. One hops out to Denton in right field. And Cash Durkin on first base with a 2-out single for Liberty Hill.
Again, another nice piece of hitting. The lefty sends that out into right field. Just got a pitch that he could do something with, drive it out there. Nothing you can do about that. Just check your base runner now and go after this fourth hitter.
Now it brings up the 4-hole hitter, the third baseman, number 10, Cade Neuenschwander. He'll step in from the right side with the runner down at first. 2 outs here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Haddon from the stretch, a swing and a miss. 4 strike 1 on the outside corner.
Nasty pitch. It looked kind of like a changeup, but something off speed, and that was ugly.
Jacob Haddon comes set. The lefty looking at first base. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled off back to the screen. 4 strike 1, or strike 2. I'm going to turn up the field mic camera and actually unmute it now, so hopefully we'll hear the foul ball. Sorry about that. 0-2 the count to the cleanup hitter, Neuenschwander. He's in from the right side. Haddon comes set, looking over at the runner. Now the pitch, and a ball driven down the left field line, but it's going to curl foul. And so Haddon stays out of trouble there. That one gets down, and you may score Durkin from first base because that was going all the way to the corner.
When it left the bat, I thought it was a base hit, but wind-aided foul ball. I was kind of surprised he gave him such a good pitch to hit left out over the plate with an 0-2 count, but attacking the hitter, let your defense work.
0-2 again, and this one popped up on the infield. Some conversation down the line. It looks like Reese Bell is going to be interference, and Neuenschwander ruled out. He's got to yield to the fielder, and so it's going to be, I don't know how you're going to score that. We'll figure that out, but after it all said and done, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 1 inning, we're scoreless, 0-0. Back with more Eagle Baseball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the bottom or top of the second inning. I'm used to being at home.
I know.
After that game the other night, it felt like 2 home games back to back. We go to the top of the second. Heil, Klaus Keismore, and Smith due up for the Georgetown Eagles. Landon Heil, number 6, the designated hitter, in from the right side. First pitch from Jefferson is an off-speed breaking pitch for strike 1.
If you're standing back here from our viewpoint, that looks like it's a little too far outside, but the umpire has been consistent in the first inning. And even now in this second, as his second inning starts in that call. So that's all you can ask for from the guy behind the plate, some consistency.
The 0-1 pitch, called the ball, 1-1 to count. Landon Heil steps in with a .522 batting average. Takes this one low for ball 2, 2-1 to count. And exactly, Kelly. You just want consistency. If you're going to call it out, but call it out top and bottom of the inning.
Yeah.
You're going to call it in, but top and bottom of the inning. The 2-1 pitch almost hits Heil, but it's inside ball 3.
One of the things that I like to see, Wally, is I like to see a big strike zone. I want the bats to decide this game. And when I was umpiring high school baseball, I would tell the coaches, hey, it's a big strike zone. I'm not deciding this game. Have your boys swing the bat. And that's what you like to see.
Now a pitch in. He's going to call it a foul. Went off the hands of the bat. So now the count full to Landon Heil. Kelly, look at the stat line here for Landon Heil.
That's too small, and I'm too old.
The on-base percentage, 645. The OPS, 1.428. The designated hitter, Landon Heil, doing a good job of getting on base the last few games in this role. Takes this pitch, and he'll foul it off. It'll curl just out of play into the stands. And Heil stays alive in the at-bat. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cole Jefferson threw 13 pitches. The Eagles, and I had to correct it. I want to make sure that only left 1 on base after the double play. And so no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. Heil now, the 3-2 pitch from Jefferson. Low and outside. Ball 4, and the first walk of the night issued by Cole Jefferson. And the Eagles have the leadoff banner aboard here in the top of the second.
Again, we'll see what Coach Vieira's strategy is. Is he going to test his catcher? Is he going to try to keep the guys moving? And he usually does in the early innings to see, test them, see what they got.
Stepping in now will be the left fielder, number 3, Ty Klaus-Keismore. He'll step in here from the right side. Here in the top of the second. Squares the bunt, pulls it back, takes it low, 4-1. One ball, no strikes to Klaus Geismore. The 1-0 pitch, he turns around and bunts down the first base line, and it just trickles foul here on the turf. You thought it was going to stay, but it goes foul. So Landon Heil had already circled second base. He was off.
Boy, one thing you don't like to see if you're a coach is whenever that ball just trickled foul into foul territory, the catcher quit. But if that ball rolls back fair, that's a fair ball. So you got to stay on that, get a glove on it, and make sure it's foul before you give up on it.
Ty Klaus-Keismore steps back in. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs here in the top of the second. Landon Heil led off the inning with a base on balls. Jefferson from the stretch, a pickoff attempt over to first base. It's in the turf. Landon Heil kind of jokes like he's going to take off. You hear people in the stands, no, the ball just trickled away a couple
I think that was his parents.
No. What are you doing?
I'll ground you.
1-1 the count to Klaus-Keismore. The pitch on the way. He tries to bunt it.
Ooh.
Pulls the ball bat. Does not pull the bat back in time. It's a strike. Throw back behind Heil, and he dives back in safely at first base. 1-2 now the count to the Klaus-Keismore. So now he'll be swinging away here with the 1-2 count. Heil leads off first, being held on there by Durkin. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball to third base. He fields it on a hop. Neuenschwander throws it to second. The force out there is good. And Klaus-Keismore will reach on the fielder's choice. Heil retired on the 6-4 for the first out of the inning.
Man, it's a beautiful night.
No, not a cloud in the sky. It feels great. The sun going down.
We're on a little bit of a hill, so when you look off to our right over behind the stands, you just see a beautiful view. I love it.
Thriving metropolis of Liberty Hill in the background. Woods and cell towers and beauty out here. First pitch into Logan Smith, the third baseman, in for his first at bat. He takes it outside, ball 1.
Shut up.
I'll tell you what,
think it's pretty that way.
If everyone's quiet out here, you hear nothing but animals and birds, and it's just beautiful. This hill country out here in Liberty Hill is a beautiful area. And he takes off the pickoff attempt. Landon Heil will slide in, but the ball goes into left field. See what they ruled that one. Well, there is no scoreboard out there keeping the runs and hits and errors. I would assume it's going to be called a stolen base.
Yeah, it should be a stolen base and an error on the throw, but he made it. I think he probably would have made it, so I think you stay away from the error on the score sheet on that one. It's a tough throw. Would have taken a pretty good throw to get him.
So Klaus-Keismore up to second base with 1 out. On the stolen base, Logan Smith back in from the right side. 1-0 the count. One out here in the top of the second. The pitch from Jefferson, and Logan Smith gives it a ride to left center field. One hops the wall, over the wall. A ground rule double for Logan Smith.
No, that's a home run, young man.
Oh, I thought it bounced.
No. That's a home run.
They even thought I thought it hopped over. Yeah, it did. It bounced over.
Oh.
I thought my vision was going bad like you.
Shut up.
Okay, so I get what you're saying now. The field umpire called it a home run. The home plate umpire said it bounced over, a ground rule double. No matter what, Logan Smith smashed that 1-0 pitch to deep left center field, and it's called a ground rule double.
Dude, I swore I thought that went.
But Logan Smith gets the RBI double there on the ground rule double, and that brings up Wade Denton, the right fielder. Denton will step in from the right side, batting .273 on the year. Playing right field tonight as Jacob Haddon, the normal right fielder, on the mound for the Eagles. Denton steps in with one out and a 1-0 lead now after Logan Smith. You talk about a 1-0 pitch.
Woo, he gave that a ride.
Logan went down and got that and drove that pitch. A double and an RBI for Logan Smith. He leads off second. First pitch to Denton. Over the top of his head for ball one. Klaus Keismore scores on the double from second base for the first run of the ball game. Third hit of the game for the Eagles. The 1-0 pitch to Wade Denton. Outside corner, strike one.
Got a good group watching on YouTube. If you're watching, type into the chat. Let us know where you're listening from.
1-1 to count to Wade Denton. One out here in the top of the second. Logan Smith down at second after an RBI double. One hop the left center field fence. Cole Jefferson set from the stretch. A look back to second. Now the 1-1 pitch. And the breaking pitch gets away. What a job of Logan Smith to read that. The ball gets away.
Ooh.
And he barely keeps his fingers on. There at third base. I thought he might have come off. And a good job by Neuenschwander. He held the tag around. But the umpire on the opposite side of the base. And Logan Smith gets there. You're going to have to give that a pass ball.
Yeah, if I'm that third baseman, I'm asking the home plate guy for help. An appeal.
Denton takes this one, and now the count evens up at 2-2. Wild pitch on that last one. It was in the turf before it got to home. He gets away from the catcher.
If it hits in front of the catcher, then it's a wild pitch.
So the wild pitch allows us a heady Logan Smith to advance to third. And now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Wade Denton. One out here in the top of the second inning.
Got Palmdale, California listening in. Thanks for tuning in, watching this game tonight on SHN.
The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And Denton down on strikes for out number 2. Second strikeout of the ball game for Cole Jefferson. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Andon Petty. Number 16 on his uniform, number 1 in his dad's heart. He'll step in from the right side. Here in the top of the second with 2 outs and a runner down at third base. Logan Smith, a 1-out RBI double. And the ball smashed, but right at the second baseman. What a shot by Andon Petty, but the line drive caught by the second baseman, Eller, for out number 3. L4 in the book, and the Eagles go down here in the top of the second, but not before they get a run on a hit. No errors and 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, it's 1-0 Georgetown. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports. Back from the bottom of the second inning, Liberty Hill comes up to bat. They bring up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Trent Eller, Colby DeMars, and Jack Stanova. I'm going to jack that up already. I can't say his last name. Stavanoa. So in steps
unbelievable
Eller, the second baseman. He'll take the first pitch for a ball. 1-0 the count. Jacob Haddon threw 12 pitches in the bottom of the first. Here in the bottom of the second, this pitch, a swing and a miss. And evens up the count to Trent Eller. Several tweets that I went through and watched of Liberty Hill baseball. Eller can get the ball elevated and down this left field line, but not when he can't make contact with a dirty pitch like that from Jacob Haddon.
You know, one of the things that I'm kind of looking at behind the plate, he's playing awfully close up to that plate. You don't want that catcher's interference.
The 1-2 pitch popped up into right field. Denton's going to call off the second baseman Davis and make the catch. F9 in the book for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the right fielder, Colby DeMars, for his first at bat. He'll step in from the right side with 1 out. But you're right. And one thing you see, though, it's so comforting for a team like this that, one, plays well defensively, that's a very mature team, to have a catcher like Zachary Mazik,
right,
slated, committed to the University of Baylor, but back there running the show. Base hit by DeMars. He sends it down the left field line all the way to the corner, so he'll have a 1-out double for the Panthers. He stepped in and drove that pitch, and it stayed fair by about 6 inches. And all the way to the corner, Klaus Keismore chases it down and keeps him to a double.
Well, and the reason why the catcher plays up so close is you don't want the location where the ball ends to fool the umpire. And if you're far away from the plate, way back from the plate, that ball may break over the plate. But if you catch it outside the zone, what looks like outside the zone, the umpire sometimes is affected by that. Trust me, I've been behind the plate. And so he plays up as close as he possibly can so that he gets the full benefit of all of that plate.
The center fielder, Stavanoa, steps in from the left side. And Haddon turns around. Doesn't throw it towards second, but the runner, DeMars, gets back safely. So 1 out here in the bottom of the second. A 1-out double by DeMars. And now Stovanov from the left side. The first pitch to him. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch down on the turf. Good job by Mazik to block it and keep it out in front of him to not allow that runner to advance. 0-1 the count.
That was one of his breaking balls that you really need to call timeout, clean the garbage off the ball, because that was filthy. That was disgusting.
The 0-1 pitch. Haddon comes set. He'll turn around, look back at DeMars. He'll go back and look. Now he'll come home. The 0-1 pitch. Just outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. And this is like Mazik in our lineup. Is it Mazik? Is it Mazik? Stavanaugh is what they just called him on the PA.
Yeah.
Mr. Neuenschwander told us this is probably one of the most messed up names outside of Neuenschwander. The 1-1 pitch to the center fielder. Fouled off, back to the screen for strike 2. And now the count 1-2.
Boy, you really want to attack this hitter. You get this guy out. You've only got 1 out. You got runner in scoring position. If you get this out, that just changes the entire dynamic of this inning.
Garrett Neely, the shortstop, on deck for the Panthers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch popped up on the infield. High fly ball. The third baseman, Logan Smith, calls off Haddon and makes the catch right at the base of the mound for out number 2.
That's a tough place to make a play because he had to start up that mound. And when your feet are changing levels, it's kind of like a golf shot. It's, man, that's a tough play to make. And I've seen some pros stumble on that play.
And you love how your third baseman has a good view all the way in, calls off Haddon, he vacates the area, and Logan Smith comes through with a catch. F5 in the book, 2 outs, and then steps Garrett Neely, the shortstop, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to him fouled off just off the end of the bat for strike 1. Garrett Neely, the number 8 hitter in the Liberty Hill lineup. Coach Vieira doing some work down here, chasing foul balls. Good to see some effort out of the coach. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this later. The 0-1 pitch to Neely is in there.
Nice
strike
pitch.
2.
Nice pitch.
I haven't seen her here tonight, so we got to give a shout out to Mrs. Macy Vieira, wife of Coach Jordan Vieira, her and the kids, Jameson, and I got to remember the baby's name, Mabry, I think. I'll get it right in a minute. They got to see them last night out at the coach's show. It was good to see them. Strike three, nice. Swinging. What a pitch there by Jacob Haddon for out number 3, his second strikeout of the night. And Liberty Hill goes down here in the bottom of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 2 innings, 1-0, Georgetown leads it over to Liberty Hill. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. We go to the top of the 3rd inning.
Oh, man.
And the top of the lineup due up for the Eagles. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Hellman, Mozick, and Davis. Hellman steps in, fouls this one off himself for strike 1.
You really got all of that one.
0-1 to Hellman. Hellman struck out swinging in his first at bat. Hellman on the season came into the ball game with a .377 batting average. The 0-1 pitch to Hellman. This one skips out into the left-handed batter's box for ball 1.
Our conversation, ladies and gentlemen, at the half inning dealt with the Major League movies, so I apologize in advance for all the references to that movie forthcoming.
The 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch stays high above the head of Hellman for ball 2, 2-1. A lot of off-speed pitches here early in the ballgame from Cole Jefferson.
A lot. I think he's trying to keep these Georgetown hitters off balance because you saw earlier there's some power.
2-1 pitch fouled off by Hellman. Back out of play for a strike. 2-2 now the count. Zachary Mozick on deck for the Eagles.
The wind's coming more from behind our backs now, seems like. So.
And Hellman takes a cut at the 2-2 pitch. It's down the first base line. It almost gets to the net, but the catcher Riley slides in. Does not make the catch. So Hellman stays alive. Put a note on that. If Hellman ends up driving a pitch here for a base hit, that's a costly mistake from the catcher Riley. It's a tough play to make, but one you want to see your catcher make at this level, at this kind of competition. The 2-2 pitch. This one bounces about 4 feet in front of the home plate.
Just a bit outside.
And now 3-2 the count to Eli Hellman. Shortstop for the Eagles, back in for a second at bat, 0-for-1 on the night. Steps in here with a full count, leading off the top of the 3rd, the 3-2 pitch. And Hellman sends it high into the air down the right field side. The first baseman looks like he's calling for it. The second baseman, Eller, calls him off and makes the catch. F4 in the book for out number 1. And in steps Zachary Mozick. He's 1-for-1 on the night, a single. Jacob Faltasek came in a run from him, was left stranded at third base. Mozick will step in here with 1 out. In the top of the 3rd inning. Mozick from the left side. Cole Jefferson in the windup. The first pitch skips in on the turf for ball 1.
Yeah.
Mozick wasted no time in his last at-bat. He took the first pitch seen and drove it into right center field for a base hit. Takes the second pitch here, rolls over towards the second baseman. Eller will field it on a hop, throw over to Durkin for the out. 4-3 on the putout for out number 2. And that'll bring up the second baseman, E.J. Davis.
Just 1 or 2 mistakes by the Liberty Hill pitcher in the 2nd inning. Cost him a run, but he's done a good job with his control and hitting the spots that he wants to hit in the strike zone and keeping the Georgetown hitters off balance. Once they that's the second time through the order they may start getting a little better feel for what he's throwing and how he's throwing it. We'll see if they can respond to it.
First pitch to Davis, bounces in there. Everything is off speed. You know they've watched the tape. Coach, I lost it. Hutcherson for Liberty Hill has watched the tape, and he's not throwing fastballs. He's keeping this team off balance. The 0-1 pitch. Now he comes back with a fastball, and it's fouled off. So 1-1 to count to E.J. Davis. He's 1 for 1 on the night. He had a single back in the first inning, but was the casualty of the 6-4-3 double play as he tried to make it to second base.
Jefferson likes throwing that fastball, but against
Davis just sends one into center field. The center fielder drifts back. Stavanoa will make the catch for out number 3. F8 in the book. And the Eagles go in order here in the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, no run left on base. After 2.5, it's still 1-0 Georgetown over at Liberty Hill. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment on SHN. We come back for the bottom of the third inning. Due up here, the 9-1-2 hitters for the Panthers. Chase Maxwell, the left-hander, steps in for his first plate appearance of the night. Jacob Haddon on the mound. First pitch outside for ball 1 to the right-handed hitting Maxwell. Haddon, 24 pitches thrown through the first 2 innings, 12 in each inning. Steps in here, the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. And the count evens up to Maxwell at 1-1.
His off-speed stuff is working really well.
And when that's working well, Jacob Haddon is tough to hit. He delivers the 1-1 pitch, and Maxwell swing and a miss for strike 2. Coming into the ball game, I had it pulled up here. Earlier we had a little trouble with it. Jacob Haddon came into the ball game. His ERA, 1.714. This pitch sent into left field. Klaus Keismore comes in some steps to his left and makes the catch for out number 1. F7 in the book. And that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup for the Panthers. It'll bring up the left-handed hitting Dyer, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He flew out to Klaus Keismore in the top of the first inning, or the bottom of the first inning. He steps back in here with 1 out in the bottom of the third. But Haddon came into the ball game. The most innings pitched, we were talking to Wade Denton last night at the coach's show. He's the second at most amount of innings pitched for the Eagles by a third of an inning behind Haddon. But all his work done in relief. First pitch, low and inside for a ball. Just missed. But then Haddon comes in. He's 24 strikeouts. Hasn't hit a batter. Only walked 2 on the year. And this one called a strike. 1-1 the count to Dyer. So Haddon just dealing well this year. Having a good senior season for the Eagles. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball out towards second base. Davis has to charge. He'll field it. Fire over to Bell. And gets Dyer by a step. 4-3 on the putout. And Kelly, you love to see the defense.
You do. And Coach Vieira talked about that. When the defense is working well behind your pitcher, you don't worry so much about calling you still think about the pitches that you're calling, but you're a little more apt to take some chances around that strike zone when the defense works so well behind you.
First pitch to Carson Riley is sent into center field, and it'll drop between Davis and Petty for a base hit, a little Texas leaguer, and it drops in there for the First hit of the night for the catcher, Riley. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but he steps up here with a 2-out single. And now a courtesy runner comes in for him. The catcher, Riley, will go out. I think it's number 13 or number 33. I can't tell over there. Looks like 33, the runner. That'll be Sean Parsons. And in steps Cash Durkin. He's 1 for 1 of the night. He's singled in his first at bat. Steps in with 2 outs. First pitch. Misses for ball 1. I hesitated because I wasn't sure where it missed. Durkin, a tall player. The lefty stands upright. The 1-0 pitch. And it's sent into right field. And it's going to be over the head of Denton, and it's going to be out of here. That is a 2-out, 2-run bomb by the first baseman, Cash Durkin. He drove that first at-bat pitch hard into right field for a base hit, and Haddon came right back into that wheelhouse of the lefty, and Durkin wasted no time depositing that over the right field wall.
That one stayed up a little bit. That pitch stayed up, and Durkin just blasted it over that right field wall, and that's not where we were expecting to see home runs hit tonight. But, again, it's only 301 down that right field line, so it doesn't take a bomb to get it out of this ballpark.
So a 2-run, 2-out, 2-run home run by Cash Durkin, and Liberty Hill takes their first lead of the ballgame, 2-1. In steps Cade Neuenschwander, the third baseman. He was called out on a runner's interference in his first at bat as he ran down the line and ran into Reese Bell trying to make a play on his pop-up. So he steps in 0 for 1 of the night. First 2 pitches called balls to Neuenschwander. So the 2-0 pitch from Haddon to Neuenschwander. Popped up, out of play, back over the screen for strike 1. Now we have to see how Haddon responds to this.
Right.
Adversity in the early part of the ball game.
Well, and he'd been doing a good job of controlling his pitches, controlling the strike zone, hitting his spots, but he left that one hanging up a little bit higher than he wanted, I believe. And
this pitch just low, so now the count 3-1 to Neuenschwander. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Now the count runs full on the third baseman for Liberty Hill.
that breaking pitch was a good pitch, so tells he's got some of his confidence intact.
The payoff pitch just misses low for ball 4. The first walk of the night issued by Haddon, and now a 2-out walk as a runner at first base. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Trent Eller. He flew out to the right fielder, Wade Denton, in his first at-bat back in inning number 2. He's 0 for 1 on the night, steps in here with 2 outs and a runner at first. First pitch outside. Mazick throws down behind Neuenschwander, dives back in safely. 1-0 the count to Trent Eller. Second baseman for Liberty Hill. 0 for 1 on the night. Steps in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Liberty Hill is taking a 2-1 lead here on a 2-out, 2-run home run by Durkin. Pick-off attempt to first. Neuenschwander dives back in safely. Haddon with a good move, the lefty. 1-0 the count to Eller. Haddon with the deep breath. The pickoff attempt. Neuenschwander dives back in safely. Not taking a real big lead with that lefty pickoff move of Haddon's.
That can be tricky when you got a lefty on the mound.
Haddon comes set. Another pickoff attempt. Neuenschwander dives back in. So Haddon paying a lot of attention to the 2-out base runner at first base. Neuenschwander reached on the base on balls. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the dirty breaking ball.
Dirty, filthy.
I tell you what, Haddon's breaking pitch is just nasty tonight.
Foul, naughty, filthy breaking pitch.
The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased that one. And that was off the outside part of the plate, but it's Haddon's making it into a guessing game with some of these breaking pitches, and you see that there in Eller's swing. You're just, up there floundering around. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, and the Eagles get out of here without any more damage. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. 1 runner left on base. After 3 innings, Liberty Hill's taking the lead. It's 2-1. Liberty Hill over Georgetown. Back with the 4th inning. More Eagle baseball on SHN. Go to the top of the 4th. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters do up for the Eagles. Here in the 4th, chasing 1, down 2-1 to Liberty Hill after the 2-run home run by Durkin. In the bottom of the 3rd, Bell, Heil, and Klaus Keismore do up for the Eagles. Bell steps in and drives the first pitch. It's a high fly ball into right center field. The center fielder, Stavanoa, comes over. He'll make the catch in right center field for out number 1. F8 in the book.
Just missed. Just missed.
1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th, and that'll bring up Landon Heil. Steps in for his 2nd plate appearance of the night. Walked back in the 2nd inning. Steps in here with 1 out in the top of the 4th. The first pitch from Jefferson in there for strike 1. Something different there from Cole Jefferson. He didn't throw a breaking pitch to start out the at-bat. The 0-1 fastball. The 0-1 pitch, ground ball towards the shortstop. Neely up with it, fires the first. Durkin scoops it out for the put out number 2, 6-3 in the book. And that'll bring up Klaus Keismore for the Eagles. 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th for Cole Jefferson.
Well, Georgetown not being able to get very many balls out of the infield with their bats tonight tells you that Jefferson's pitch is working for him. And he's able to hit the spots that he wants to hit. Again, just, a couple of mistakes early. But
first pitch to Klaus Keismore, a breaking pitch. Very slow and bending. In there for strike 1 to Klaus Keismore. Second pitch, same thing.
It's a nice pitch.
0-2 the count to Ty. Reached on a fielder's choice, stole second base, and scored on the RBI double by Logan Smith back in the 2nd inning. The 0-2 pitch is up and out. 4-1, 1-2 now to Klaus Keismore.
I think that one fooled the umpire because where the catcher was set up, way outside, missed his spot.
The 1-2 pitch, and Ty gets the bat on it. It trickles down and like a swinging bunt. By the time the third baseman, Neuenschwander, gets to it, Ty's already past first base, so an infield single on a very ugly swing on a breaking pitch that was pretty from Cole Jefferson.
Now you've got a runner on base, 2 outs, and Georgetown has done a lot of damage this season with 2 outs. We saw that against Round Rock.
Absolutely. Several times the other night they had opportunities with 2 outs. They get runners moved around, but just couldn't get that run across against Rouse. But they do well with 2 outs.
They do.
They do well putting the ball into play and making things happen.
Well, we had 2 outs the other night against Rouse when we walked it off, right?
I was no outs.
No outs, okay.
It was the strangest thing. It was boom, 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 and all of a sudden we were out of there. And it was, what a pretty ball game. So fun to just talk about that game. First pitch of ball to Logan Smith. He's 1 for 1 on the night on RBI double. Steps in here. The 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. Good scoop there by the catcher, Riley. Ty Klaus Keismore down at first base on a swinging bunt infield single. Good job of staying alive and fighting off a dirty pitch from Cole Jefferson.
Yeah, and I think that pitch that he dribbled out down the left field line was fooled him.
Klaus Geismore still second base. The catcher Riley goes to throw and drops it. So another stolen base for Klaus Geismore, his second of the night. And now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Logan Smith takes it for a strike. 2-1 the count to Logan Smith. An opportunity again for Logan as he steps in with a runner at second base with 2 outs. Jefferson comes set from the stretch. Looks back. Now the 2-1 pitch. And Smith fouls it off back over the netting for strike 2. The count evens out at 2-2.
I think he wanted that pitch.
He drove his first at bat. That double took a big hop and over the left center field wall. But Logan Smith, that one not far from being barreled up there. Now the 2-2 pitch. Off speed. And Logan battles at this one, fouls it off back towards the Liberty Hill dugout.
You know, I wonder, Wally, with the short fence down the lines, you know the players are aware of that. You wonder if sometimes they press a little too hard, knowing they've got that short porch on both outfields.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The 2-2 pitch. And Logan Smith reaches out, drives it down to third base. Neuenschwander up with it. Takes a hop, throws across, and gets him by half a step. Almost held on to it too long. But the Eagles down without much noise here in the top of the 4th. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 1 runner left on after 3.5. It's 2-1. Liberty Hill leads it over Georgetown. More Eagle baseball in just a moment. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Liberty Hill leads it 2-1 on a 2-run home run by Cash Durkin in the bottom of the 3rd. Liberty Hill steps in here in the bottom of the 4th. 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. DeMars, Stavanoa, and Neely. The first pitch to DeMars is a strike. 0-1 the count. 44 pitches through 3 innings for Haddon. The 0-1 pitch to DeMars. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Through 3 innings. Hadn't allowed 4 hits on 2 runs, both earned. 3 strikeouts, a walk. Has an 0-2 lead on DeMars here. This one hops in for ball 1. Good 0-2 pitch there to keep DeMars at bay. DeMars is 1 for 1 on the night. He had the double to lead things off, or after with 1 out there in the 3rd inning when he put it down the left field line. The 1-2 pitch, and it's off the end of the bat down the first base line, but it goes foul. As Bell chases it down, throws it back in. So the count stays at 1-2 to the right fielder, Colby DeMars. DeMars back in, Haddon from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the night for Haddon. And that will bring up the center fielder, Jack Stavanoa. He flew out, popped out on the infield. Logan Smith made the catch in front of the pitcher's mound. Back in the 2nd inning. A step in, 0 for 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Haddon's first pitch is fouled off on a check swing by Stavanoa for strike 1. Stavanoa back in, up against the plate tightly from the left-handed side. The 0-1 pitch, and a ball popped up on the infield again. Logan Smith will call Haddon off. Haddon will vacate the area, and Logan Smith makes the catch to the left of the mound for out number 2. Another pop out to the third baseman. And that'll bring up Garrett Neely. The shortstop, he's 0 for 1. He struck out swinging to end things for Liberty Hill in the bottom of the second. Neely back in from the right side. The first pitch from Haddon, and it's popped up on the infield, but it's going to go out of play for strike 1 as it bounces back towards the concession area. 0-1 the count now to Garrett Neely. The 0-1 pitch from Haddon, and it's popped up again, back over the netting in the backstop for strike 2. 0-2 now the count. Haddon working quickly here in the bottom of the 4th. The 0-2 pitch, and Neely barely checks his swing. Mozick, I love that from Mozick. He may not have gone around, but you get it in the umpire's head. They check it down. It's still a ball. 1-2 the count now. But he swings and miss at this one. Now Mozick from the outside will throw down to Reese Bell. And that's another strikeout, 5th of the ball game for Haddon, and the Eagles get out of the 4th inning here without any damage. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left on base. After 4, it's still 2-1. Liberty Hill leads it over Georgetown, the Eagles. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Yes, I did say the top of the 5th inning in 1 hour and 1 minute.
Fantastic.
On a beautiful Friday night. 2-1 your score. Liberty Hill leads it by 1. A beautiful sunset behind us. The first pitch fouled off back to the backstop by Wade Denton. The 8-9-1 hitters due up here for the Eagles. Denton, Petty, and Hellman.
What's that pitch count?
58 pitches for Cole Jefferson through 4 innings. 55 for Jacob Haddon. This pitch skips into the batter's side. Oh, we got a new pitcher here. This is not Cole Jefferson. This is number 15. Now dealing for, this is Connor Sherburne. This is who they said we probably would see. So Sherburne in to work. He's ahead to no balls and 2 strikes on Denton. The 0-2 pitch. And it skips in there. So another pitcher throwing a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
Towards the Eagles, 1-2 the count.
Well, Jefferson had a good his breaking ball was doing a lot.
The 1-2 pitch, and Denton sends this to left center field. The center fielder on the run, but it's going to one-hop off the fence. Wade Denton around first, headed to second base, and he'll be held up there. A leadoff double by your right fielder, Wade Denton, and Eagles get it going here in the top of the 5th, Kelly.
Exactly what you needed. You got a new pitcher now. Your first batter against him sends one to the fence on a double. Got that leadoff runner on, try to tie this ball game up with a base hit. Nice piece of hitting, too.
And I tell you
what, pitch.
Andon Petty steps in here with a runner on second and no outs. The last at bat, Petty 0 for 1, but a screamer caught by the second baseman, Eller. You just got to keep hitting the ball like that. He'll find the holes eventually. And this would be a great opportunity for Petty to break out of it. But no, he'll lay the bunt down. Sherburne up to field it. His only play to first base. A sacrifice bunt by Petty, and what a job there as he put a beautiful bunt out there. And now with one out, Wade Denton, the tying run for the Eagles, is 90 feet away at third base.
Beautiful bunt. We got some guy up here stalking this kid or something. I don't know, videotaping him every time he gets up. His dad's right next to us, and he's very proud. Great bunt laid down, so.
1-3 in the book for the first out. But a sacrifice bunt moves Wade Denton, the leadoff hitter. He's got to second on a double. Now he's at third base with one out, and Eli Hellman due up. First pitch to Hellman, ground ball to the shortstop. He fields it. He's going to look across and throw for the putout. 6-3 for out number 2. Neely made the play there. Looked Wade Denton back to the bag at third. And now in steps Zachary Mazik, 1 for 2 on the night. A single and a ground out to second base.
That ball was hit at that kind of in-between speed where the shortstop doesn't know whether to charge it, make a quick play, or wait on it. The base runner doesn't know whether he's got time to make it home or not. So shortstop did a good job of keeping the runner at the bag.
Ground ball hit out to second base. Fielded there by Eller on the first pitch. He throws across, and the Eagles go quietly. Denton left stranded at third base. And there's no runs on one hit, no errors, and a runner left on after 4.5. Still 2-1. Liberty Hill leads it over Georgetown. Back with more Eagle baseball on SHN. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Liberty Hill steps in with a 2-1 lead. First pitch from Haddon is just outside for a ball. The 9-1-2 hitters do up again here for Liberty Hill. Maxwell flew out to left field in his first at bat. Takes this one for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Interesting.
Seems like the strike zone tightened up a little bit here in the latter innings. The 2-0 pitch from Haddon. This one's low and outside. Ball 3. 3-0 the count now.
Our camera down in the bullpen's not working, so we don't know if
anyone's warming up down there.
Yeah.
The 3-0 pitch to Maxwell. It's in there for strike 1. Maxwell taking all the way there. 3-1 the count now to Chase Maxwell, the number 9 hitter, the left fielder for the Panthers. Back in from the right side. The 3-1 pitch from Haddon. Catches the outside corner. It's Maxwell's got to chase his bat down.
Tee him up.
A little an early toss to the bat, trying to sell that one. He took that pitch for strike 2. Haddon back on the mound, ready to go. The payoff pitch to Maxwell. Swing and a miss. He fouled it off in the glove of Mazik. Strike 3 swinging. And the first out recorded there. 6th strikeout of the night for Haddon. And that takes us back to the top of the lineup, the leadoff hitter. Logan Dyer, the designated hitter for the Panthers, steps in from the left side, 0 for 2 on the night. A fly out to Klaus Keismore in left, and then a ground out to E.J. Davis.
That's such a good job by Haddon coming back and getting that hitter.
And that pitch is unknown where it was, other than we know it's ball one. Not sure where that one missed. A beautiful pitch there by Jacob Haddon. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for strike one. But you're right, Kelly. After the 2-out, 2-run home run given up, Haddon has been just back in there in that groove. And now the 1-1 pitch to Dyer. And this one's sent into shallow left center field. But Andon Petty on the run makes the catch. F8 in the book for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
I want to go back to the previous batter. You go down 3-0, and you had 2 pitches that you thought were strikes. Got to be frustrating up near the 60-pitch count now. Starting to get a little bit tired. You can get frustrated, but he did a great job of coming back and getting it.
Outside corner, strike one to Carson Riley, the catcher. Steps in for his 3rd appearance of the ball game. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Singled and scored one of the 2 runs on the home run. Takes his pitch just outside for ball one. 1-1 the count. So Riley 1 for 2 on the night. The catcher, we heard much about his arm. Shorter catcher, but super athletic. Had hit the weight room this year. It's thrown out several runners. Fouls this one off after the backstop, but tonight the 2 opportunities had. One went to a pickoff attempt, and Ty had already taken off. And the second one, he loses the ball trying to make the transfer. And so 1-2 the count to that catcher, Riley. But you almost, in that kind of instance, when you hear about a catcher like that, you want to see him in action.
Yeah.
And tonight just hadn't had the opportunity. And Georgetown hadn't had a lot of base runners at that point to get to that, to try to pressure the catcher.
Well, and when they have had base runners, they haven't really tested him.
The 1-2 pitch. And a ball sent into right field. Wade Denton will give chase to his right about 10 or 12 steps and make the catch over his right shoulder for out number 3. F9 in the book, and the Panthers go quietly here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on. We go to the top of the 6th, 2-1. Liberty Hill leads it over Georgetown. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment.
You gonna eat that?
We go to the top of the 6th inning. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Eagles. E.J. Davis, Reese Bell, and Landon Heil. Davis steps in from the right side. His first pitch seen by Sherburne, driven right up the middle for a base hit into center field. 2 for 3 on the night now is E.J. Davis. The leadoff runner aboard here in the top of the 6th inning as the Eagles chase a run. Down 2-1, and in steps Reese Bell. He's 0 for 2 on the night.
I just like seeing hitters that are just he attacks a pitch that he likes and just puts that ball in play, hits it where they're not, instead of trying to crush the ball over the fence. We need base runners.
Bell steps in here. He grounded in double play in the first inning, flew out to the center fielder in the second. Steps in with no outs and a runner on first, takes the first pitch on the outside corner for strike one. E.J. Davis has stolen 4 bases, been caught once. Leads off at first. Leadoff single for E.J. Davis to start things here in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch to Reese Bell is up for ball one. 1-1 the count. The starting pitcher, Cole Jefferson, went 4 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 2 strikeouts, walked 1, threw 1 wild pitch, and only threw 58 pitches. And now Connor Sherburne in for his second inning of work. First inning was quick, 7 pitches. The 1-1 pitch to Bell. Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. You love what you see out of Sherburne.
Oh, yeah.
He gave up a leadoff double. 4 of the 7 pitches of the inning were to that batter, Wade Denton. And then he threw 1 pitch for the sac bunt to Petty, 1 pitch to the ground out by Harmon, and 1 pitch to the ground out
Reese
by
swinging
Mazick.
for that McCoy sign out there. That's where I'd like to see that ball wind up in those trees.
The 1-2 pitch. He takes it, and it's a call. 3rd strike on the breaking pitch. And Reese Bell down on strikes for out number 1. In steps Landon Heil, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 1 on the night. Walked back in the second inning and grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th. Steps in here with a runner on first base, 1 out. Eagles down to their last 5 outs to make a comeback here, down 2-1 to Liberty Hill. Sherburne's pitch, swing and a miss. E.J. Davis off running, and he's going to be caught stealing down at second base. And there's that arm of the catcher, Riley. 2-6 on the putout, caught stealing. So now 2 outs. And Landon Heil steps back in, 0-1 the count.
Didn't seem like Reese got a really good jump because there wasn't a lot on that throw, but it was there in plenty of time.
For this pitch, a ball, 1-1 now the count to Landon Heil. Klaus Keismore on deck for the Eagles. And this Sherburne has a great slide step.
Yeah.
He did not give much time from the stretch for Davis to get much of an advantage there. This pitch is low. Force ball 2-1.
One of the dads behind us thought he was going to call it a strike. I did too.
I thought he was coming up to throw that arm out there as well. 2-1 now the count to Landon Heil. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. He'll take this one low for ball 3. 3-1 now to Landon Heil. Ty Klaus Keismore waits on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now full to Landon Heil.
Welcome all our YouTube watchers. Appreciate you joining us. Throw into the chat where you're listening from. Give some shout-outs out there. We got Palmdale, California still listening.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball and a high hop to the shortstop. Up with it, the fire across. It skips over, and the first baseman, Durkin, scoops it out. 6-3 on the putout, and the Eagles go in order thanks to the caught stealing. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on. After 5.5, it's still 2-1. Liberty Hill leads it over Georgetown. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment. To the bottom of the 6th inning. Trying to get some energy here on the road at Liberty Hill. 2-1 your score. In steps the difference maker in the ballgame, Cash Durkin, the first baseman for the Panthers. He smashed the ball 310 feet over the 301-foot right field wall for a 2-out home run. Guess what? Still counts as a home run. And the 2 runs lead it here over the Eagles 2-1. Durkin takes the first pitch low for ball 1. 1-0 to count. Jacob Haddon still on the mound for the Eagles, the 1-0 pitch. Not sure where it missed, but it was ball 2. Good spot there on the inside corner, it looked like. 2-0 now the count to Cash Durkin. So far through 5 innings, Haddon has thrown 5 full innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Struck out 6, walked 1. The 1 home run, the difference in the 2 runs for Liberty Hill. The 2-0 pitch. This one's sent deep into center field. Petty turns and takes off running, and this ball is going to be gone. Solo shot by Cash Durkin over the center field wall for home run number 2 on the night. He's 3 for 3 now.
I was wondering if they were going to give him anything to hit, and the answer is yes.
Durkin 3 for 3 with 2 home runs and a single. All 3 RBIs. 2 of the 3 runs scored. I think if he comes back up again, if we have an opportunity to face him, we're probably going to walk him.
Or hit him.
Something. But now steps in Cade Neuenschwander. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Runner's interference in his first at bat. He popped up down the first base line. Reese Bell trying to make the play. And Neuenschwander ran into Bell and called out on the runner's interference. Walked in his second at bat. Left stranded at first. He sends the first pitch into right center field. Wade Denton gives chase, and he'll make the catch on the run. 4 out number 1. F9 in the book. 1 pitch there and 1 out. And that will bring up Trent Eller. He's 0 for 2. The second baseman flew out to the right fielder Denton and struck out swinging.
Tracy Willis watching from Georgetown. That's Brandon Stovall's grandmother. We appreciate you watching and all of you watching on SHN Sports on YouTube. Thanks for joining us tonight. Tight ball game, but Liberty Hill has extended that lead to 2 runs now, so it's 3-1.
First pitch to the second baseman, Eller. Found off strike 1. 0-1 the count. Brandon Stovall Hawkins, one of the 2 football players from Eagle football on the varsity baseball team. This pitch inside, 1-1. New district, a new world for Eagle football this year. A&M Consolidated, College Station, Hendrickson, Eastview High School. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1-2 the count now to Eller. And then we have Glenn and Leander, and so at Cedar Park. And so just some good competition. A new district. They didn't do us any favors. It'll be a tough football district, but fun to be a part of. Ground ball to third base. Logan Smith on a hop comes up with it. Fires across to Reese Bell for the putout. And that's out number 2. I was going to say our players dropped it and took off. Thank goodness there were no runners on base.
Oh, I was so confused. I've screwed up the scoreboard so much tonight on the broadcast that I was thinking, did I miss one?
I had to look down at my book, and I was like, they just had a fly ball and a home run. So 5-3 on the putout for out number 2. Down goes Eller, and in steps Colby DeMars. He's 1 for 2 on the night. He had a double in his first at bat, left stranded at second base, and struck out swinging in the 4th. Steps in here with 2 outs at the bottom of the 6th. First pitch outside and low for ball 1. Nice play there by Logan Smith. Felt it on the high hop. Came across, set his feet, and made a good throw to Reese Bell for the putout. The 1-0 pitch. Low for ball 2. To DeMars. Remember tomorrow, 11:45 pregame. 12 o'clock first pitch against the Vandergrift Vipers at Georgetown High School, the Eagle Field. We'll have it live here on SHN. A swing and a miss on the 2-0 pitch. 2-1 now the count. But before it, 9 o'clock. A beautiful baseball game will take place there at Eagle Field. I believe it's called the Challenger game. And so come on out and watch that. Swing and a miss, strike 2. To DeMars, big hack there. Looks like he was going for the 303 mark down the left field line, but came up empty. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th, the pitch from Haddon. Low inside, ball 3, so the count goes full.
That game at 9 a.m. is with the Exceptional Georgetown Alliance, group of special needs kids that get to come out and the Eagle baseball players and them play a baseball game, and it's just fantastic to watch.
DeMars swing and a miss, down on strikes for out number 3. And the Eagles go to the top of the 7th, down by 2. 1 run on 1 hit. It was a home run. No errors and no runners left on base. After 6 innings, it's 3-1. Liberty Hill leads it. Georgetown comes up in the top of the 7th with their last 3 outs to make a comeback. We'll be back here with more Eagle baseball on SHN. Going to the top of the 7th inning here in Liberty Hill. The Eagles down by 2, 3-1. A couple of home runs by Cash Durkin. In steps Ty Klaus Keismore. He'll take the first pitch from Sherburne. Low and outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Ty. Logan Smith, Wade Denton, due up next. Here in the top of the 7th. The 1-0 pitch. And fouled off back to the screen. Coming right at you in the camera. 1-1 the count now to Ty Klaus Keismore. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Reached on a fielder's choice and came around to score a run. And singled back at his last at bat. Takes this one high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count.
That was a nice pitch. I mean, that's a tough one to lay off of, that breaking pitch up there. It's hanging up there. You're looking at it. Just begged to be hit.
Next pitch comes in, the 2-1, and it's fouled off. Back out of play. 2-2 now the count to Ty Klaus Keismore. 2 stolen bases on the night as well. Leads things off here the last inning, the top of the 7th. The 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. It's off the catcher's. Oh, they called a foul ball. Riley upset with himself. He holds on to it. The out is recorded. But he stays alive on the foul ball. 2-2 the count to Klaus Keismore. The 2-2 pitch. And a drive back up the middle, and it'll be into center field. Woo! Klaus Keismore, 2 for 3 on the night. Leads off the top of the 7th with the leadoff single.
Well, Ty has done a great job at the plate tonight, and that's what you need for this. You get that rally going, get that first runner on, and now try to push him across and tie this ball game, or push a couple of runs across and tie this ball game.
Logan Smith, the third baseman, steps in. He's 1 for 2 on the night. An RBI double in the second inning, and grounded out to the third baseman back in the 4th inning. Steps in here with no outs and a runner at first. Sherburne, the first pitch, and Logan Smith, screamer down at the third baseman. But he makes the play. Neuenschwander grabs it out of the air, fires across the first base, but not in time to double up Klaus Keismore. L5 in the book for out number 1. What a shot there by Logan Smith. In steps Wade Denton. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging in the 2nd, doubled in the 5th, left stranded at third base. He steps in here with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Klaus Keismore leads off first. Denton takes the first pitch in there for strike 1. Sherburne 18 pitches through the 2 innings of relief in the 5th and 6th. 0-1 the count to Wade Denton here. This pitch stays just high for ball 1. 1-1 evens up the count to Denton. Klaus Keismore down at first. 1 out.
How many off-speed pitches have we seen tonight?
92%.
High percentage.
92%. It seems like of the Liberty Hill pitches have been breaking balls. The 1-1 pitch and a fly ball into center field. The center fielder, Stavanoa, comes charging in and almost gets to the infield to make the catch. F8 in the book for out number 2, and the Eagles down to their last out to try to make a comeback here at Liberty Hill. Andon Petty steps in. No, we will have a pinch hitter here for Andon Petty. That will be number 20. That's going to be Riley Leininger for your Eagles. Leininger, the sophomore, steps in here from the left side. Try to get his stat. He'll pinch hit here. Leininger, 176 on the year, a 717 OPS, 481 on-base average. The last couple of games he's been playing, he's drawn a lot of walks. He's reached base, hit by a pitch. And so Leininger steps in here as the pinch hitter for Petty in the bottom half of the 7th, or top half of the 7th with 2 outs. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
And Riley's not coming up here to try to tie this ball game. Riley's trying to come up so that the go-ahead runner can come to the plate. So on base, whatever that takes.
The 1-0 pitch, and Leininger rips it down the right field line. If it stays fair, it'll be bases, and it just goes foul. He would have been at second, if not third, and we would have had a run in here. Leininger turned on that pitch and drove it, but just foul. One thing I do like to see from that umpire there, though, that we did not see in the Rouse game, a ball hit down the line, and he actually went to the direction of the line to make the call correctly. Instead of the other night, the ball hit down the third base line, and he went towards the third base dugout to make it even a harder angle for himself. Might have ended the game earlier, but, hey, we still won. But I love to see the improvement out of umpires every time we can get a chance.
Well, and that's proper mechanics.
The 2-0 pitch down the first baseline. The 1-1 pitch. Leininger just pulls that one foul just past the first baseman, Durkin. Leininger seems to have himself timed up against Sherburne and hadn't faced him at all tonight.
Right. High school umpires, for the regular season game, they only use a two-man crew. So part of the mechanics is if there's a runner on base, then the umpire in the field will move over behind the pitcher so he can make a call at second. So when that ball goes down the lines, even if the umpire's over there, that's still the home plate umpire's call.
Leininger swinging a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles go down here on the road at Liberty Hill, 3-1. Thanks in large part to Cash Durkin. He was 3 for 3 on the night. All 3 RBIs were his as he hit 2 home runs, a 2-run home run and a solo home run in the 6th to make it 3-1. And the Eagles just could not come back from that. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with some final numbers and a sign-off. Eagles fall tonight to Liberty Hill. Like we said before, anybody can beat anybody in this district on any night, and it happened tonight. The Eagles fall 3-1. We'll be back in just a minute here on SHN Sports. Live on the field. We'll go to Kelly down to the field with Coach Jordan Vieira. Kelly, go ahead, buddy.
This game and what happened tonight.
So what happened is their big boy, their Durkin, got 3 big hits. Hit 2 out of the ballpark to score 3 runs. A 2-run shot and a solo shot to give them 3. And ultimately, in the end, we didn't get the big hit when we needed to. And they pitched it and played great defense. So good. Hats off to them.
Yeah, it's a tough. We talked about it in Coach's show. And we talked about it before the game. It's a tough district.
Yeah, for sure. You got to show up every night, ready to compete, ready to get after it. At no point can you take a night off.
So tomorrow you got Vandergrift. What you looking at tomorrow with them?
Tomorrow we're going to go right back at it. We're going to give Logan Smith the ball on the mound and run the lineup back out there and see if we can figure out how to get the big hit.
All right, Coach. Tough loss, but appreciate you.
Amen. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you.
Wally?
Talking to Coach Vieira, obviously upset with Coach. With the performance, you hate to come on the road, but like we talked about with him last night, and Kelly and I talked previously here in the game, this district, anybody can beat anybody on any night. And if you don't get the big hits, that's what will happen to you. Two home runs by the first baseman, Cash Durkin. He went 3 for 3 on the night. A single, 2-run home run, and a solo home run in the 6th to make it 3-1. All 3 RBIs coming for Durkin. He scored 2 of the 3 runs. Carson Riley, the other run scored. But a big night for the first baseman, Cash Durkin. Jacob Hatton pitched a good game. He went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits. 2 of them were the home runs. He allowed 3 runs, all earned, struck out 7 and walked 1. And on many nights, that kind of a score line is not going to beat you, but a low-scoring game. Good defense played by both teams. No errors were here had tonight. And so a tough loss on the road drops the Eagles to 4-2 overall in district play, 15-3 overall for the season. And so quick timeout. We'll get Kelly back up here, finish it out, and wrap it up for the night. More Eagle baseball in just a moment on SHN. Kelly joins us back up here at the press box. And, Kelly, you can just tell, not a happy night. A tough loss in a district where you can lose on any night at any location. 2 district losses now for Georgetown, both on the road.
Yeah, and it's, Wally, whenever I was talking to Coach before we got over here for the interview, it's very clear he's not happy with the loss tonight. Coach Vieira, just about like any coach, doesn't like to lose. And especially in this district, I mean, it's a short season. You look, major leagues play 162 games a year. Colleges are playing 50, 60 games a year. And these guys get 20-something games in a year to make that playoff push in a very tough district. And obviously, Coach isn't happy with that. I wasn't able to hear what he was telling the players about the game because I had to get back up here. But the players are disappointed. So, we talked about it before the game. How are they going to react to that huge win over Rouse? And, we saw tonight. The pitching for the Eagles, phenomenal.
And that's what while you were walking up, I was actually talking about. You give this stat line to any pitcher any other night, and it's a great pitch ball game.
Oh, yeah.
6 innings. He threw barely, let's see, that was 68. So he threw 82 pitches. He allowed 5 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, but 2 of the 5 hits were home runs. And so those were big when you only had 7 hits on your side, but no productive really other than the double by Logan Smith that was the ground rule double that scored the runner for the only run. But the other hits never combined. You didn't get 2 or 3 hits together. But you had a couple of hitting performances, but a couple of hitting batters that didn't hit tonight. Harmon, 0 for 3 tonight. Mazik, 1 for 3 tonight. But then you look and you get E.J. Davis, the second baseman, 2 for 3 on the night. Ty Klaus Geismore, 2 for 3 on the night. But then you have, Reese Bell. He goes 0 for 3. A big strikeout in the 6th inning looking there for the first out when you had the leadoff runner aboard. You have 0 for 3 from Petty in the number 9 hole. Petty had a line drive there, snagged by the second baseman. But good defense played. No errors in this ballgame by either team.
Yeah, and a clean game is good. These Liberty Hill kids know the Georgetown kids, vice versa. A lot of them play baseball, select baseball together, and they know these kids, so this is a tough loss. Good thing is you get another shot at Liberty Hill down the road.
And you get them at Eagle Field. So the stat line for the Eagles, they put 1 run up. They have 7 hits. They had no errors. And they left 5 runners on base, but they come up short 3-1 against the Liberty Hill Panthers. They had 3 runs on just 5 hits. They had no errors and left 3 runners on base. And so a tough loss tonight on the road and rebounding from a big win against Rouse. And we talked about that last night on the coaches show. You and I talked about that before the game. How does a big game like that and winning it take that confidence level? What does it do? We can't be beat. You saw that. Does it take it to a different level? Does it take a mindset? Now it's, okay, this was maybe that checkup that you need.
Right.
A tough loss. You have 1 more game in the first round of district play, and that's next Friday night at home against Cedar Park. Cedar Park, before tonight, 4-1 in district play, ranked in the top 25 in the state, blah, 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 blah. But another good baseball team in District 25.
Right.
And so the Eagles have work in front of them to do, and the bigger goal, Dell Diamond in June.
Right.
I think that was made clear by Coach Vieira, but this is not one that makes you happy in that fight.
And you look top to bottom at the district, and we've said it a couple of times, you got to go to any ballpark and be ready to win because you can get beat by any team in this district, but you can beat any team in this district. And they showed that against Rouse. Came up short tonight against Liberty Hill. So, we're almost halfway through the district schedule. It's going to be a fun remainder of the schedule.
And one more thing, you're going everywhere, and we talked about it last night. I don't know if you heard this part during the coaching show. This is not a G logo. This is a target. And wherever you go, you're going to get their best shot at you. This is the epitome of when people talk about, as a Texas fan, you're going to get your best shot. Everyone wants to beat you.
Right.
Georgetown, everybody wants to beat you.
Right.
And it's just that G, and I love that way Coach said that. And for someone new like me that had no kids that go to school here, coming into Georgetown lifestyle and enjoying this year of broadcasting Georgetown sports, it's not a logo.
Right.
It's a target, and these kids have to wear it. And tonight that target was watched tightly and taken after by Liberty Hill, and they did a good job. And you give credit where credit's due. Coach Hutcherson had his team ready. They pitched beautifully tonight. Cole Jefferson did a great job in the first 4 innings. And then Connor Sherburne came in and closed it out for the save in the final 3 innings, limiting the hits, the multiple hits, and keeping the Eagles from putting up more than 1 run. So we call it out tonight. We're done here from Liberty Hill. 15-3 overall, 4-2 in district play. And now, tomorrow, back live at Eagle Field. 11:45 is the pregame. 12 o'clock first pitch. The Vandergrift Vipers, a 6A team, will come into play. Another challenging opponent that Coach Piera puts on the schedule on non-district play, and that's going to be tomorrow at 12 o'clock at Eagle Field. But then they get a break. No game next Tuesday. Star testing going on, all that greatness in the education world. And so the kids will not play a game on Tuesday. So after tomorrow, they're going to have a week off till next Friday night. And so maybe an opportunity, refocus, to step away.
Star testing's going on. I go to Boston on Monday, teach in Boston on Tuesday, and come back Tuesday night. I may see if I can get a flight on Wednesday. Stay out a little longer because my wife's not usually happy Star Week.
So the Georgetown Eagles fall. Kelly may tour somewhere else on his way home. Yeah. My flight's canceled again.
Oh, call the office, see if I can pick up another class on Wednesday or Thursday.
The Eagles fall tonight 3-1 to Liberty Hill on the road at Liberty Hill High School. Tomorrow, 11:45 pregame. Kelly, DeVoll, and I will be back in the friendly confines of Eagle Field. 9 o'clock, the Challenger game at Eagle Field between our special needs community and with the Eagle baseball team. An opportunity to come out and just watch the fun, the excitement in these kids' eyes as they get to just have fun. And these baseball players doing their part in the community with these kids, and it's just awesome to watch.
That game, for a little while, will make Coach Vieira forget about this loss tonight. And Coach Vieira said in the coach's show, you want your day made? Come watch these kids play in the morning.
So I know my wife and I will be there at 9 o'clock to watch the first half of that. We'll have to sneak out, go watch our grandson's T-ball game at 10 o'clock, and then back for Georgetown Eagle baseball. 11:45 pregame. Kelly DeVoll and I will be on the call. Back from Eagle Field live here on SHN Sports. 12 o'clock first pitch. The Vandergrift Vipers come into play. Your Georgetown Eagles. If you can't be out to the stadium tomorrow, join us live here on SHN Sports. Thanks for joining us tonight. Remember, everybody, it's never cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night.